All right, everybody, we are back. Excuse my voice here. Been running around all day, so I'm trying to get my voice right here for a little bit. So if you give me 1 second here, get everything together, make sure my nose is clear, all that good stuff. So I'm not sniffling pretty much throughout the whole show. And let me just adjust myself just a little bit. I think I'm a little too high here. Yeah, let's bring myself down a little bit. Yeah, I was way too high up in the air, right? So I didn't like that look. So hey, listen, what's going on, everybody? It is Thursday. As usual, tried to do it on Thursday, didn't go live last week. Decided to take some time off, just enjoy some things. Uh, we went to the zoo, we went to the museum, and we just did things normal people do in this world, right? So hopefully, normal people. Yeah, I know that's what I like to do. So, but kind of want to get into it. Uh, this whole thing we see out in Texas, and of course, everything else that's going on in this country and in the world. And it made me just sit there and think over and over and over, right? Um, does race really matter in this country? Does it really matter? And I see as usual, it does, right? We've got two different situations. We've got the young kid down in Texas, uh, Carmelo Anthony, and I'm wondering if he was named after the basketball star because he's old enough to be that guy's son. I mean, dad. So just curious about that. So we have that situation and everything that's going on uh, with that, and I get it. Everybody's all up in the air about this situation, and 90% of the people that are talking about it, that's why I haven't talked about it in a while because I wanted to see what was going to come out, right? And what we're getting over and over and over, uh, I think it's 90% bullshit. Personally, it's just not enough being told, and I understand why. But if we go off of based on what we're seeing and what we're hearing, we're just getting a bunch of untold truth. And based on what we have so far is the young kid, they're trying to get out the rain. Um, Austin Metcalf, him and his brother decide, hey, you got to move, and they physically assaulted him, i.e., everybody said, well, did he punch him in the face? Or listen, if someone touches you by law, that's an assault. If you're not wanting to be touched and you're telling somebody, hey, don't bother me, this, that, and the third, that's an assault in the story, right? So I think the trivial part of all this is going to be is how are they going to use to stand your ground and in this situation. And we know Texas has a stand your ground law. A lot of states do, especially down south. And but there is still a confusion because Texas also have what's called, I believe it's called Safe Act or Save Act, where you can't have any weapons on a school ground, i.e., a knife, gun, etc. That was voted in unanimously through the state of Texas. So that's not a blue or red thing, right there. But he was at a rec center. This is all being held at a rec center. So it begs the question now, does that Safe Act still apply? And I've been trying to find out more and more, and I haven't been able to find anything. Does that still apply to this situation? And I think that's going to be the deciding factor in this case. And some people said he had a knife or whatever they said he had, right? And I don't think it matters. I think anybody with any common sense, if there's someone who's substantially a lot bigger than you, there's more than one person with them, and they're physically touching you, you got a right to defend yourself. Hey, I mean, I'm not advocating anybody losing their life, but if you don't touch or if you keep your hands to yourself, we won't be in this situation. So we have to put blame where blame is at, right? But the thing that I'm really more concerned about is how they're flipping this. How a lot of people in the media, especially blacks conservatives, and they're changing this narrative as if this kid was raised in a bad environment. So let's put out some facts. You have the young white kid, Austin Metcalf, who's a twin. and you have the young black kid, Carmelo Anthony, who was a outstanding student. I found out who was set to graduate this year, who had a 3.0 GPA. So this kid ranks at all the highness that any father or parent would want for their child. And this is what a school wants in their child to be productive. You know, whether you're a sports athlete, you're productive. Whether you're in the class, you're productive. He proved all of that, right? Plus, I don't think a lot of people understand where this family lived, this particular black family is a very well-to-do area in Texas. Um, and some say they were renting the home. Some say they owned a home because they hadn't been there over the last 2 years. That's about the time frame. I apologize that they've been there. It's about 2 years, give or take. Uh, they're staying in a $900,000 house. So this media portrayal that there's some broke family is not the case at all. The father makes good money, and here's the Achilles heel to all this, or as I like to say, the caveat. Right here's the caveat to all this: Carmelo Anthony, the young black kid, lives with both of his parents. He's growing up in a two-family household where the young white kid, one lives with the father, one lives with the mother. And what do we always say about broken homes? What kind of people do broken homes produce, right? And I'm one on the side of defending a single parent as much as possible. But on this one, I'm going to play devil's advocate like they do with us black people. And they say it all the time. Okay, well, you know what? Hey, single parent home, you're going to have this kind of attitude, right? So this young kid's growing up in a single family home. So it's safe to say he feel that he should get what he want. That's how he was raised. I'm assuming. So but they're flipping the narrative and making you think it's the black kid who was raised that way when he's actually has been raised correct the whole time. And yeah, they raise money for him. I mean, these black Republicans and conservatives, man, they're losing their mind. They raise money for the kid. They haven't touched that money. And I'll play a video where the guy just deliberately lied within 2 days of them finding out they had a GoFundMe account. Just deliberately lied on the family. And I think they should sue him for defamation personally. And so when we look at this, you see the playbook, you see what they're doing. And a lot of people were saying there were witnesses there. There were, but the cops aren't releasing anything. Some of them were minors, so they can't release it. And here's the thing, I will say this, that I think people need to look at. If this kid, and I can't say if he was guilty or not, I was not there, I'm just going off of what I'm hearing. But if this kid was so guilty, don't y'all think at some point the cops will put out something on this kid, some kind of information? They will put out something to the cops aren't saying any, and this is the first time I've seen a situation like this where the cops aren't saying a word. They're literally not saying anything. So that lets me know one, the perception that they're trying to sell about this black kid is not true. And it's not true what they're trying to sell about this white kid. Because even the brother who interviewed, and I was trying to find those interviews, he interviewed 2 different times and he told 2 different stories. So somebody's lying, and even after that, the young kid, when he did speak with the cop, because he was young, he ran and the cop chased him down. They got a hold of him and he says, hey, man, is the guy going to be okay? So this guy actually had empathy, which meaning Carmelo Anthony actually had empathy for this Austin Metcalf guy. See, that's how you raise your kids. You don't raise them to go be bullies like the Metcalf kid was. You see? So that's what we got to really look at this whole thing, right? There's no empathy. Now the dad, he's saying some stuff, but he's got a checkered past too. Rumor mill on the street, the dad has had some SA charges brought against him. So it begs the question, how are they raising their kids? Is this what they're dealing with, right? So that's what we got to look at. Like, I'm going to play this little part of the video here, and I'm going to be playing this more than once as we go through. There's a couple things I want to play. Well, let me just.
Parents of Austin Metcalf for making a hero out. On behalf of the Black community, I would like to apologize to the parents of Austin Metcalf for making a hero out of the young man that killed your son. I apologize that there are so few fathers around and so few male figures around to teach the Black community about emotional discipline, about what's right from wrong, about emotional regulation, about not making a hero out of a thug and a criminal. I apologize on behalf of the Black community because they are the ones that are raising money for your son's killer. They are the ones that are funding this new lavish lifestyle that your son's killer is living. I apologize on behalf of the Black community because they are so confused about, again, what's right and what's wrong, that in some weird, twisted sense of racial solidarity.
Go back to the stage. So you see the playbook, what they're doing. Now, this guy, he made this video, and he's a staunch Black conservative, no problem. But he deliberately just lied about this whole thing with this family, as if the money they raise, they're using it for something. They already was living in the home. But you see, they are the ones who always want to talk about, it's not about black and white. You liberals, you Dems, you always want to bring up the race thing. And look at what this asshole's saying right here. He's going to apologize to the white family, right? Just to get more stuff stirred up. And this is what I tell y'all about these Black conservatives. This is why I say they ain't shit. I tell you, to all of them, there's only 2% of conservatives in this country that I say I rock with. The rest of them, they ain't number pieces of shit. You're going to sit here and just demoralize this young kid. Call him a murder. He hasn't even been to trial yet. We don't have any information. As much as you're trying to find, it's hard to find. So what did this asshole do? He go and make this video because he want the controversy behind it, right? Cool, do your thing. But if I'm the parents, I'm gonna try to sue his ass because he's basically lying. And it's people like him that's got the younger kids, the 13-year-old girl who's getting threats. So all y'all that's perpetrating this lie, y'all cool with that? You cool with that? Because see, this young brother had other siblings. Now they're getting threatened. Now the family's got to move. This is where we're at in this country. But if it's the other way around, these Black conservatives will tell you, we all remember Kyle Rittenhouse, right? Or Kyle Rittenhouse, however you want to say his name. And one of the things they always said to us, just America as a whole, hey, let's wait until the evidence comes out and he goes to court. That's all they kept telling everybody. Let's wait till the evidence comes out and he goes to court. Right? That was it. That was the talking point on the conservative point of view. Everybody, didn't matter what color they were, that's all they said. But for some reason, with this particular instance, they're not saying that. They're already making this kid guilty on the spot. So it begs the question, is there a race problem in this country? If you're Black and you do something, are you justified for it, or are you looked at different? Because it seems like to me, if you're white, they have a different point of view. Whether they want to admit it or not. The numbers don't lie because every time they say it. Matter of fact, I'm going to see if I can pull this up right here and just show you guys something. Let's see this on stage. All right. Now, I'm down here. I'm assuming you can't see me. And we have Austin Metcalf, which is right here. And we had Carmelo Anthony, smooth looking young brother right here. No one is talking about these two right here. No one's talking about these two. Now, these two, I can't remember this young white kid's name, but he got in a fight with this kid in the bathroom. Now, this kid, I think it was Jose, said he didn't want to fight because he has a young Hispanic brother. But this kid wanted to fight. This kid protects himself He gets to scrapping. I get it. You might take a L. This kid pulls a knife out and stabs him and kills him. Now, this kid bond was at $1 million. They dropped it to 125,150. This kid was at 1 million. They dropped it to 250. Why are we not hearing anything about this? Now he's set to go to court this year. This happened 2 years ago, and he's getting ready to go to court. But you see, there is no public outcry about this case. And this was on the school ground in the bathroom where a guy didn't want to fight, but we're focused on this case, which was at a rec center, not a school ground, where a guy usually can do what he want to do, relax, because it was raining. You want to get out the rain with this guy, but this guy wants you to get out and stand in the rain so he can sit down. And this guy wants to fight with this guy who doesn't want to fight, straight A student. I looked this kid up. And this guy kills this kid. But there is no talk about this situation. We're only focusing on this situation. Now, white kid kills Hispanic kid. Black kid, self-defense, accidentally takes the life of a white kid. Why are we so focused on this when this happened in the same state? And why are all my black conservatives focusing on this guy when this guy is on his way to trial for murdering this guy? So it begs the questions: are they getting paid to be one-sided, or are they race hustlers? Are they trying to create a problem in this country? Because those on my side of the aisle, we're trying to create a racial harmony where your race doesn't matter. But it seems like it matters to these guys because they're all about crucifying him. See, this is what lets you know that black people are the true people of the Bible. Because no matter what we do, we're crucified like they did Jesus. But they're praising this guy right here. You see, this guy get all the praises. This guy gets all the praises. I wonder if this guy here from the tribe of Dan. I think they went more to the European area, but who knows, right? But it's just something I'm like, okay, all right, let me talk about that for a little bit. And they don't discuss that at all. Not at all. All right, I'm back on stage. So it's one of those where you're like, okay, let's see what we're doing here, right? And I got one more. Let me see here if I can get to my stuff. Is this the video I want to play?
If we are going to talk about a
That's my old girl. That's not her. So let's drop it down. There's something I wanted to show. Let's see if I can do it. All right, where's everything? All my good stuff at? I know I got it. It's a video clip. Nope, don't want to play that. That's the one of Trump and his crazy ass. I swear I've been watching this guy all day. He's just sitting in the office talking. Sound like you dropped the F word. Sound like a freaking fool. Because China's kicking his ass left and right. Now, this is the story right here. Nobody's talking about this. Fox News, CNN, nobody is talking about this, right? Let's look at this here. See, this is what I mean by when we talk about how what's really going on. So how do we alleviate? Make myself big again. How do we alleviate talking about that? We're just going to keep talking about this black kid in Texas, right? We just keep talking about that under the impression that yeah, this is definitely gonna uh, uh, be to the point of okay, let's see. Oh, somebody put we can't hear you. Can you guys hear me? Is there a problem with my voice? Is something not coming in? Let's see if we can turn up some dials here. I want to make sure I'm being heard. All right. Who said they can't hear you? DB, Dirty Broke, this guy. Okay. Can you hear me now, brother? Yeah, I put that picture up there in front. Wonder if you can hear me now. Now we can. Okay. All right. I apologize. I don't know what happened. But you know what? Since you say you can hear me, let me go through my phone here because it's something that I can't click on that. I want to play you guys an audio.
That's where I'm from.
Stop. This is out of
Yeah, violent opinions.
it's going before I wanted
Yeah,
this. There we go.
Right. That's why I wanted to.
So I'm gonna try to play this audio. And if you guys can hear the audio, let just say you can hear it while it's playing. If not, then I'll stop because I'm not going to play the full interaction. It's up to a certain point that I want to play just to see what everybody's mindset of this. So I'm going to try this out, and y'all let me know if you can hear it within it because you're not going to hear me talking. So just let me know. Give me 2 seconds here. All right, I'm not sure why it wasn't playing. I was trying to get it to come through um, from the phone, and because the size of the video, it won't allow me to actually. You know what? Let me try something. I hate to try stuff while I'm in the middle of the live, but you know what? We'll hold off on that later on. It's no big deal. You know, it's nothing. I'm gonna play that. I unmuted myself and it still wouldn't let me do it. I'm gonna try it again. Let me see if it'll do it with me muted up. Let's try it one more time. I'm gonna shut up for 5 seconds. If you can hear it, let me know. We heard it when you were talking. Okay, gotcha. All right.
Good. And she also cited a federal. Yeah, violent opinions. I've been doing this 39 years. Right. That's why I wanted to, show you. I actually
attitude now.
I don't got an attitude.
Yeah, you do, boss man. That's just my demeanor. Well, your demeanor's gonna change if you're gonna deal with me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm gonna treat you good.
Yes, sir.
You ain't gonna act fool around me now.
I appreciate you.
I mean that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I appreciate you. Yeah.
It ain't gonna happen that way. You can talk to me, but lose that attitude like we corrupt.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We ain't corrupt. I run this thing right.
Right. Right. Exactly.
Come on in here
Yes, sir.
tonight.
Yes, sir.
Start your shit over now.
Yes, sir.
Sit down there.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you, Mr. Joy. So let me, first of all, let me apologize for you.
I accept your apology.
Yes, sir. From the,
I've been doing this 39 years. When
Yes,
I
sir.
took this office, I locked up 42
yes, sir.
fucking deputies.
And I voted for you, to be honest with
And
you.
you can't vote you a felon.
I vote every year.
Yeah, listen to that. He didn't realize.
Good, I need to know your name. 'Cause I'm gonna
Yeah.
record that.
Yes, sir. My
Give me
name
your
is
name.
Ryan Burgess.
Give me your driver's license.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You come up here wanting to start some shit. with
No,
me
I'm
today.
not starting. So this is, I'm about to, yeah, I'm don't want to get off on the wrong foot with you.
You
I'm a
started
good
that
guy.
start.
I work every day, Mr. Joy.
That ain't got nothing to do
No,
with it.
I'm gonna tell you about myself now. So I'm from Lake City originally.
Well, I'm,
You know,
I'm originally
I
from
know that.
Old
I know that.
I was a deputy. I've been here for 39 years.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So as far as the federal drugs, I started off in the streets back in the day growing up, over there in Lake City, and I got in some trouble,
All right, let me pause that for a minute. And I was taking myself off the screen, me doing that was killing the volume. I muted myself. So we figuring this out as we go, because this is actually coming through my cell phone. So the part that I really wanted y'all to hear was how the sheriff was just talking to him in such an aggressive manner, right? And the guy wasn't being aggressive to him, but because the sheriff took the guy's position of having any kind of authority that can challenge him, he lost it. I mean, the way he was talking to him, sit down. That's that old era way of thinking. This nigga, and I said it, this nigga ain't gonna talk to me like that. No, he ain't gonna talk to me like that. That's what I got out of it. Because we see, and it's more to the video, but the guy was being as respectful as possible, right? You kept hearing him say, yes, sir, no, sir, yes, sir, no, sir, yes, sir, no, sir. And the fact that, now I'm assuming he got his record expunged, that made him able to vote again. And he said, hey, man, I voted for you. That's the crazy part. But it's so much more to it. And when you get past that part, there's another part in there where he's talking, he's speaking. And as he's speaking, the law really comes into effect. And the reason why I say that, move this back a second here, is I was under the impression that if you get caught with selling drugs, right, narcotics, or trafficking, it's a drug charge. That's it, right? Well, I've come to find out that if you're caught selling drugs, it can be a violent felony because the guy's trying to get his bulletproof vest back. And even though he breaks down later on about the charge and how he didn't commit any violence against anybody, but distributing drugs or selling drugs, however you want to phrase it, you get caught with the intent to sell, it is considered a violent crime. So that felony just changed to a whole nother level. You see what I'm saying? And this is a guy who basically, you got to listen to the whole interview. I'm not going to play the whole interview because it is very lengthy. He's been doing everything right since. He's talked about how he's been shot at, how he's had to shoot people in self-defense. But it's just the fact of that drug charge. And they considered that a violent crime, even though you didn't commit any violence with the actual distribution and selling of drugs. So, that's one where I'm like, man, what in the, I mean, I'm not out here selling drugs. So, but there are so many people who get caught up in situations and don't realize that if you are selling and you get caught, and at least in that state of South Carolina, it could be considered a violent crime. So you may be able to get some of your rights reinstated. You may not. And that's what this guy has pretty much found out, that he had the charge was a violent crime, even though the statute and the laws are saying something different. But the police department have to hold up with the fact that it is a violent crime, and they will not relinquish his bulletproof vest back. I just say, just go get another one. Find a way to get another. But apparently, he got that some kind of way, and they found out he had it through his domestic abuse. His old lady and him got into an argument. He didn't physically touch her, and that's what happened. That's why the cops were called. And all that's explained in the video. Like I said, I don't think I want to play the whole video because it's a lengthy video, but it just begs the question to how this police officer or sheriff, what he is, how he was just blatantly just talking to this guy any kind of way he wanted to, without just without any concern. I mean, he talked to him, man. I wouldn't even say he had talked to his own child like that, the way he was talking to him. So that's what the deal was, that I could speed it up to where you're actually hearing them saying
He's up in the wrong neighborhood. So I went to federal prison in 2009. I did because I know these people and I'm right around in this area. So, and I could have died that night. So I keep that bulletproof vest and Ryland Rose was the first person I seen when he showed up that night. And when I slid the door, he said, "What happened to him?" The guy was laying on the floor dead. I said, "I just shot him." Him and Ski McAllister from Lake City, the first two officers I seen that night. So I mean that. So I keep that vest. It's not to walk around with a bulletproof vest on. It's because of what I've been through in my home. You know what I'm saying? That's some scary stuff. That I can't own a firearm because I'm a convicted felon. Right. But
you can't have a vest because you can.
But I like to have a vest because if somebody ever try to kick my door down and come in there blazing with guns, at least while I'm dialing 911, at least I can have a vest on. Yes, sir.
Part of that, don't you understand? I cannot give you this vest. If you go purchase another one, it's still going to be legal. And if we have to go back around for something else, we'll have to seize it too. That's the law.
Yes, sir. I understand.
Please understand,
Mr. Joy. Based on what I'm telling you, I go to work every day right here in Florence. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not a bad person.
He's actually,
but your attitude out there, I see the side of you and again, you thought I was going to sit there and listen. I don't do that. I'm going to treat people as good as they let me treat them. And after that, and then when I get mad, I'm mad. I don't care. And I think you see that.
I saw that. And that's why I apologize to you.
Well, listen.
Yeah, I didn't mean to come off like that now because I'm not that type of. If I came off in a disrespectful manner or like I'm aggressive or something like that, I apologize. That was
the format you laid out. There's we were unethical. We stole your vest, but then the girl told you to come get it. Then she found out the statute of law that you're a felon. You can't have one. Then you made it sound like they were sneaking there. That's what you said. Said they were trying to hide the vest.
I can show it to you on my phone now. I can show you that. It's video. Yes, sir. Yeah.
How much drugs have you done in your life?
Never. I don't smoke.
You damn well brain dead because you don't understand plain English. I can't let the vest go. We put it in evidence. We say we ain't hiding nothing. Like they take it to use it for personal gain. You can't get the vest. I'm sorry.
All right. Let me end that. But it begs the moral of the story is, listen, don't do anything illegal, number one. And two, understand if you do, you need to understand the laws that are there, that are in place, because I'm like this guy. I didn't know that they considered selling drugs, trafficking, all that as a violent crime. I never knew. Well, I've never done it, but I just never knew that. And I've known people that sold drugs, but I never knew that. So that I mean, that's interesting. I would truly say that is something that's truly interesting, right? And so that's some food for thought for people right there. And I'm gonna switch it up a little bit because I am gonna get back to Austin Metcalf and everybody, but we all see what's in social media right now going on with Shannon Sharp. And you know, I would say this. People should like who they like and be with who they want to be with. But at the same time, you brothers that get out here, man, and y'all make millions and millions of dollars, and you deserve every penny that you fucking get. That's real talk. Y'all deserve every fucking penny you get. And these would be the same guys. And Shannon Sharp hadn't said too much about that because he's got 2 black daughters. So he's never been one of those guys that, go out bashing black women and all this stuff. And, he's equated to why he's single, this, that, and the third. But what I don't understand is, man, why do y'all go after these women? Ain't nothing wrong with a little young tenderoni. But you go after these kind of women that you can get just going to a Kroger, going to a Wegmans, going to a Stop and Shop. These women that you guys are losing everything behind look no different than somebody working at a Walmart. No different. And the fact that you guys get yourselves in these situations, and the media is how the media is going to come after you. You're being recorded for 90% of the stuff you do. Is it really worth it to put yourself in a position where you can lose everything behind some cheap floozy? Now, I ain't knocking the brother for sleeping around, laying pipe. Hell, I still do it myself. But if I got that kind of money, I'm not going to deal with no $2 hoe. I'm going to find me somebody that's up on my level financially. It's no different than right now. I'm broke, so I deal with broke women. But, I'm not here to bash your brother because I like his show and I want his show to keep going. But understand, this is how they cause us to lose our wealth when we get it. And I get the appeal of the young girls. I'm with you. Excuse me. But at the same time, you guys got it, man. You guys making all this money and you losing you're putting yourself to lose money behind someone that is on a OnlyFans account. This is how you guys are meeting these women. And let me say this. My opinion of OnlyFans, all it is, you've taken the pimp out of the picture and you're no longer walking the streets, but you're still selling pussy. So it's no difference than prostitute. It's truly not. It's no different. Just that you got more control over it. Some of them say, well, I've heard, I haven't seen them because I'm not spending no money to watch somebody get naked. I can do it myself. I can get that for free. I've heard women say, well, I just do things with me. Right? We're adults, so I can say certain things. They use toys. They use that. That's what they do. And people pay money to see that. I don't understand it, but they do. Like I said, if I'm gonna do all that, I can see it. I can get that free. But to that brother, I hope everything works out in his favor. There was a amount of money that was offered, which is like $10 million. She doesn't want that. And I think that was just to say, okay, we'll just go away. But having that kind of money, having that kind of fame, this comes with it. Why do y'all keep putting yourselves in these situations? You guys can have any woman you want out here. And it seems like every time you go after the ones that are no different than the average woman. Now, there is a chick up there that they're pairing him up with. The chick that's got the curly hair, and they show them side by side. That's not that girl. They have the same name. I actually went and looked in that. So that's not her. They just have the same name, But like I said, man, I mean, you guys got all this money, and you running around OnlyFans page looking for $2 hoes. I just don't get it. I don't understand it, man. I truly don't. If I got that kind of cash, that's what I'm going with. I'm not going with somebody who done spent $20,000, and she didn't spend no money on her body because she's just straight up and down. You see real pictures of her. But if that's what he likes, that's what he likes. I'm just saying, hey, brother, in the future, be careful. Why are you willing? You willing to risk all your money for something like that? That I don't get. So. with that, I'm gonna let that go. Oh, you know what? That's what I want to say. If you guys are off this weekend, go see the movie Sinners with Michael B. Jordan. I watched that movie last night. That is a good movie. Ryan Coogler is the director, and there are certain things he does in the movie that will make you like, oh man, I can't believe he put that in there, right? Great movie. It is a vampire movie, and you're not gonna have I liked it. I just think that the vampire should have been in a little more in the beginning of the movie, so they come in at the end. But it is a good movie, and here's the crazy part: the people that are calling themselves Native Americans and Hispanics. And a lot of white people walked out of the movie towards the end. And this is, give you my opinion. But they were saying it wasn't enough Native American presence in the movie. It wasn't enough Hispanic presence in the movie. Are y'all fucking kidding me? I mean, this is a fictional movie. Right? And in this fictional movie, you have the Native Americans who were chasing a vampire, like 4 or 5 of them. They had their time to shine 8 minutes, right? And people complaining that it wasn't enough Native American presence, right? White people were leaving when they had the shootout at the end with the Klan. White people start leaving it out the movie. I'm not, I ain't gonna watch you kill no white folks. But they can watch kill black folks, right? And just to point of people saying that is no representation in this movie of different ethnic groups, right? I think black people have been saying that for years. So I DM'd a young lady, said she was Native American, and she was appalled. And I said, hey, why don't you see if any of the members of Redbone still living? And if they are, maybe they can help use their contacts to finance a movie, and you do a movie on the Trail of Tears. See? Problem solved. There's your movie. Do a movie on the Trail of Tears. I even put in there, do a movie on the very first Thanksgiving. Right? They tell us all the time when we say there's not enough representation, we need to shut up. Okay, we go now, we make our own movies. And now they have a problem with it. And it goes back to what I said before about race in America. how they want to exclude us from everything. But if we decide to do something together, now we have to bring all them in to show solidarity. It doesn't make sense. And I'm not, saying the movie would have been good without different ethnic groups or not. It was a good script. It does kind of remind you of Dust to Dawn, if you ever seen that movie. But it was a good movie. So I encourage everybody, go see it. It was #1 at the box office when it first came out last week. The movie cost about $90 million to $100 million to make. So far, first week U.S. box office sales like 61 million. So, if you got time this weekend, go see the movie. Like I said, one thing about Ryan Coogler movies, it always takes a while to get the scheme and the gist of the movie, right? Well, some movies you can just be like after 10 minutes, like, yeah, I kind of got to understand what's going to happen, but let's see, right? Well, his movies don't give you that. You got to walk into it for a little while. But overall, great movie though. Great movie. So y'all should check that movie out. It's called Sinners. I think it's going to shock a lot of you guys who go see it, because I think you're thinking of one thing and you're like, wait a minute. But the wait a minute part is what's going to make you more intrigued and want to see this movie all the way through, and it's not that much of a, because vampire films is a whole lot of guts and glory and all that kind of stuff. I forgot what terminology they call that, but it's not that bad for us the blood and killing and all that. Like I said, if you're into that, it's not enough. If you're not into that, it's right at your max level. It is an R-rated movie, so don't be coming up in there with kids and stuff. It's going to be some kissing and sexuality stuff going on, but not too much, right? To where you say it's like, okay, we knew that was going to happen. But other than that, man, it's a good movie. So I would encourage anybody, if you got time, to go see it. Like I said, I seen it last night, and was glad I got a chance to see it. I was going to do it today, but I didn't. And I wasn't going live today. My plan was to go to the museum down in New York. So I may be doing that next Thursday, but we'll see. I don't want to put the cart before the horse. You know what I'm saying? So, but like I said, but I just want to talk about, okay. Where's my man at? I said I was going to play. Okay. Dirty Brooke said he's going there Saturday. Let's see here. I need to play this video again. I don't think y'all are hearing me with these black Republicans, man. How deadly they are. Let me go up here. Find my videos. Yeah, as they say, y'all work with me. Yeah, just be. Oh, I forgot to put that on there. The like and subscribe part. Excuse me. Oh, here we go. Let's get down. All right. I think I'm pulling them up now. I've got to delete some of these videos, man. I got so much stuff for me. It's taking too long. All right, I'm going to play it again.
Parents of Austin Metcalf for making a hero out. On behalf of the Black community, I would like to apologize to the parents of Austin Metcalf for making a hero out of the young man that killed your son. I apologize that there are so few fathers around and so few male figures around to teach the Black community about emotional discipline, about what's right from wrong, about emotional regulation, about not making a hero out of a thug and a criminal. I apologize on behalf of the Black community because they are the ones that are raising money for your son's killer. They are the ones that are funding this new lavish lifestyle that your son's killer is living. I apologize on behalf of the Black community because they are so confused about, again, what's right and what's wrong, that in some weird, twisted sense of racial solidarity, they would celebrate the young man that killed your child in cold blood. I apologize on behalf of the Black community because you...
Get that nigga out of here. I said it. Now, Yeah, you see, this is what I talk about when I tell people these black conservatives, they keep the racist stuff going on. We can't move forward if we have black conservatives in this country. These are not the Thaddeus Stevenson conservative. They are probably the Abraham Lincoln conservative, right? And this is what we have going on. This is the problem. Nobody is celebrating that kid's death. Nobody. Both families are dealing with something, but he got to point out and say he's apologizing for the black community. So I'm just letting y'all know I DM'd the guy and said, "Hey man, I come on the show, talk about it." You know, whether he do or not, I don't care. But I would love to hear his true point of view or why he feel that someone owes this family an apology when no one apologized to Tamir Rice, that young kid that was killed. No one has apologized for that white motherfucker a couple of years ago in Arkansas that raped that 10-year-old girl and bit half her fucking face off. I want y'all to understand this. You got a crazy ass, grown ass white man jumps across the fence, rapes a 10-year-old girl, bite half her face off, and he's out walking around free. Because they said, oh, he was insane. What the white people that was saying, hey, you know what? Hold up. Where was the black conservatives at? Huh? Where was that? We just got a situation right here recently. I can't put it up because we can't show minors. 10-year-old kid riding his ATV. White guy comes by, hit him, killed the kid. He goes home, but he comes back to get his mirror that he broke off his pickup truck and went back home. Didn't call the cops. Now they finally was able to get him. I don't know how if he was able to bond out. So where these black Republicans at on this? Where these black conservatives at? No. Where the white ones at apologizing for their people for what they did when he jumped over there and raped that 10-year-old girl? You see? Now, crime is crime. Taking a life is taking a life. To me, the color don't matter. If you're wrong, you're wrong. But these kind of people only show up when it's a person of color. But then if we march for our people, there is a problem. See, a lot of people ain't telling y'all, they had a White Lives Matter march in Frisco, Texas. You see? They had that in Frisco, Texas, the White Lives Matter march. It didn't get no steam, but they had it. You know, they had it. Nobody says a thing. So, look, I got 6 minutes left. And I will say this to anybody: if you call yourself a black conservative and you're okay with the playbook they run, you're a piece of shit. Just black piece of shit. Still a piece of shit. That's what you are. I say it over and over. And I'll tell you like it is. I will debate any one of them pieces of shit. Because all they're good for is to keep a lie going. They're good to draw attention. They're good to draw separation. That's what they're good for. And once they're used up as being a drifter, then they try to move their way back. Look at Miss Candace Owens right now. Oh, it was Christianity that made her say all this stuff. Now it was Christianity. See, her husband's Jewish. So now she's want to try to think she's going to convert to, what do they call it? Judaism. I don't know what they call that. But she's going to try to convert to that. So now all her ills are, oh, it was Christianity that was making her say all these ill things and all these lies about people in different countries. You know, it's all Christianity fault. You see, the well has ran dry for her in the conservative circle. And it'll run dry for all of them. It always does. Unless you can get in a high power position, that well runs dry. And I don't have a problem with anybody being a conservative. But when you a piece of shit conservative, I got a problem with it. See, there's a difference. We all conservative. We all liberal. We all socialist. Nobody is just one way. I can prove that to everybody. Because the first thing people say, oh, well, you a socialist. Well, you must don't like the police department. Oh, I love the police department. How do you think they get paid? They get paid on a socialist construct. That government's taking your money, the taxes, and paying your police department. That's socialism. See how that works? I mean, this shit ain't rocket science, y'all. But I just had to put that out there. And before I go, there was a video. Jesus Christ, do I have that on my phone? Let me just check. If I do, I may be able to play it. Because I wasn't going to go live today, y'all. I'm not lying, so I didn't. Someone want to say he's ill prepared today. You're right, I am. I'm ill prepared because I was not going to go live today. So give me 1 second. Let me see if I can run through my phone here. Jesus Christ. I got one too many apps on this thing. All right, let's see. That's not it. Oh, that's what the Asian guy. That's my man right there. All right, let's get out of this one. Let's see if this one is part of it. Nope. I hate that I don't have that video. I mean, this is really, I'm not gonna lie, y'all. I'm a little upset that I don't. Yep, nope, don't want to play that. That's got too much cussing in it. There's more cussing than I want to do. I am truly upset I don't have the video, but I'll post it. I'll make a short of it. And we'll just go from there with the short. But basically, I want to say this to all my truckers out there, especially if you're out of that West Coast and, you know, the majority of your freight is intermodal. You know, things are getting a little dry. Ships aren't being sent over as much. And we know why. We're in a trade war that we shouldn't be in. And that's going to affect the country in the next 3 weeks. So let's hope it gets better. But before I go, I want to say this. For all y'all truckers out there that voted for Trump and the rates didn't come up, and there's less freight out there being moved in the next 2 to 3 weeks, that could cause a disrupt in the market. You know what? Fuck you. Good luck. And you know who I'm talking to if you live out on that West Coast. And with that, hey, we put in our time today. I feel like I did a full-time job. And I would say it like I always say, man, listen, everybody stay prayed up, stay strapped up. The weekend's coming up. Enjoy yourself. The weather's getting good. I know it's getting good here. I pray everybody has a safe and joyous day today. I pray that everybody gets home to their families this weekend. Don't get it twisted. Theo ain't got to like you, but he don't really wish nothing bad on you neither. You get me? That comes back on you. But other than that, listen, everybody stay prayed up and strapped up. Keep God first and keep the gun on the hip. And hey, we'll do it again next week, or we may do it Saturday. I don't know, but we're going to try to do it again. Until then, we out of here, y'all. Later. Let me get my little stream thing.